Okie dokie, welcome to today's episode. Today we're going to go from Sunfield City, which we were just most recently recording in, and we're going to take a little trip. Not a long one. And we are going to land... I hear a vrooming car. And we are going to land right over beyond this sand hill. Right in this little plains area. And you will see Snowglobe City. So, this is this week's project. And we're stepping inside Snowglobe City. So, all the roads are made out of snow. All the walls are made out of snow. Giant snow walls enclosing the entire city. In the center, you will see this giant snow globe filled with snow and snow golems. And so basically this is the concept behind the town, is all these people use the snow made by the snow golems to build their houses. And so I use, since there's not any like snow collectors in Minecraft, I'm using the fishermen as like in their place because they have barrels. So it's like they're storing all the snow they collect inside the barrels. So they have a whole bunch of snow and they use it to build igloos and they use it to build roads and they use it to build walls. And so it's like this is their main building material in town. You can see around they harvest a lot of pumpkins. Their town is like littered with jack-o'-lanterns and pumpkins. They use these pumpkins to put the heads on the snow golems, and so then they put the snow golems in here and they harvest snow from them. So it's like a complete circuit of collecting snow to build out of, but also using that snow to make more snow golems to make more snow. And so the three main professions around here are the snow collectors, then the people who farm. So they farm wheat for the sheep, which is used to make like clothes and beds and stuff. And so there's shepherds and who use the looms to make wool. And then there are farmers who harvest the wheat and the pumpkins. And then there are the snow collectors. And so walking around town, you can see a whole bunch of houses. Some of them have pumpkins, some of them have sheep. And so this is just whatever their job is. They'll have like a little workstation. And so here is a little street lamp. It's the only street lamp in town because it kind of melts the snow. So it's it's four jack-o'-lanterns stacked on top of each other. And you'll just see like pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns scattered around town because it's like they have extra building materials. And you also see trees. The baby! Hello, baby! So you'll see trees all around town, and you also see stacks of snow, and you'll see stacks of pumpkin, because these are just their extra building materials. They don't have like a tree farm, but they use the oak wood to build everything that can't be built out of snow. So if it can't be built out of snow, they have sheep, wool, and then they have oak to use. So all their doors and their gates and their fences are made out of oak, and their beds and their clothes are going to be made out of wool. And so here is a little farmer's house, and they're growing the pumpkins for the jack-o'-lanterns and also wheat for the sheep. And so here is they have a little decorative.
It's a cute snowman.
Thank you. They have a little decorative snowman made out of the two main building materials in town. So it's made out of oak and snow. And so all the little houses have like different setups. Oops. They have pumpkins for light, and then they have the oak chairs, and they have the tables, and so then they have the beds made out of oak and wool, and doors made out of oak. So all around town you'll see houses, like a whole bunch of houses, all made out of snow. So it's like an igloo, how an igloo is in real life. You pack in the snow so tightly that like you can like live out in the tundra without even feeling any of the cold from the outside, because like it keeps you insulated inside, and so your warmth builds up inside. And so that's how people have lived in Arctic regions for so long, because snow, the way they pack the snow in, it becomes a great insulator. And so that's how this town is. is the giant snow globe in the center is it's kept very cold inside, and so that's where the snow is harvested from. So like the snow golems move around making snow, and then that's what they harvest to build out of. And so they have the snow globe as like an insulator little place for the snow to stay frozen and for the snow golems to stay cold as well, because they're more comfortable in the snow. And also that iron golem walking around while we were recording, he spawned, and like he wasn't even like, I didn't even make him, so like the town is booming. And so that's the concept behind this town, is like a whole culture built around snow. That's how they've much in the same way that people who live in Arctic regions rely on snow, they also do it. They've managed to build it in a place that's actually not frozen. It's temperate, but the way the town is built, it keeps everything insulated. It's the way that like old-timey ice boxes were built. Way back before we had refrigeration, people could still have ice boxes that they used to store their food to keep it cold. And so giant blocks of ice would arrive on trains, and then they'd deliver these giant blocks of ice to each house, and they just keep them stored in like this insulated ice box, and that's how they'd like keep their food cold for such a long time without electricity to keep it cold. They just used like ice in an ice box. And so I'm gonna go to sleep. And so that's how this town exists, because it's in a temperate area. They just keep it insulated through such tightly packed snow that like nothing like melts and falls apart, because they've learned how to construct the snow in a way that keeps it all together. And so here's a little peek inside some of the houses. They've got the jack-o'-lanterns for light, and then some of them have their workstations inside the house. See, that was a little farmer for this pumpkin patch. And then right in here is a bigger house. They've got like a kitchen table and a double bed, and this is where 3 shepherds live. And so they've got a bigger house, because I guess because it's 3 people instead of 1. So everybody's hanging out around the snow globe that is the center of their life. And here is a lumber mill. It's like where they store the lumber before they can like chop it up and stuff, and then some extra snow piled up together. And then here is the snowman again, and right beside the snowman is this biggest building in town, which is a cat. A cat was in here.
A cafeteria.
This is a cafeteria. So they've got this little eating area that they can come and like socialize and eat their pumpkin pies. And so like all the chandelier is made out of pumpkins. And so this is where they come to socialize and hang out together. So this is like their meeting hall basically. And here's the farmer's house. 2 farmers live here. Yes. And they've got a little breakfast table as well. And they farm the wheat for the sheep, as well as more pumpkins for for eating, and also for the heads of the snowmen. And so another feature in this town is the packed-in snow walls, which I said prevents it from melting, but also they have little lookout areas so that they can see if like any illagers or pillagers are coming through. And so this is such a defense-based town because they can protect themselves from any enemies, because the only entrance is at the front where we came in at the water, and that has 3 gates. And so like none of the mobs in Minecraft can open gates. So this town is like completely protected because of these giant, like twice at least the height of a regular person, walls. And so nothing's getting in here. They're completely safe. They're free to shear their sheep in peace and make all the beds and shirts they want. Beds and blankets. There's a little kitty cat. And so in this house is a little bigger. A shepherd lives here, and I guess the shepherd's spouse, and they've got like a couch with a dining table as well. And again, the cat's spawning. Oh, there's a kitty. Okay, that cat came out of here. That's so funny. It like spawned inside of the building. And so now I'm gonna do some aerial shots, and so we can see the full town. And I can talk about anything I missed. I don't know if I missed anything. So here's the entrance. Here's the walkways. They've got stacked up extra pumpkins that they're in the process of carving. They've got their sheep that they shear for wool. They've got extra snow and extra lumber. And here's a house. And here's the biggest house. It's got actually 2 entrances. And then here's the snowman. And then here's the wheat for the sheep. This one's kind of interesting. It was like it's not exactly circle. Like a lot of the houses are either square or circular, the way like an actual igloo is, because like this town is based off the idea of an igloo. And so the eating hall is really the only one that isn't in that circular shape. And so I just wanted to like mix it up, I guess. And so here is the center of the town, the Snowglobe. And the way I built this is basically I kind of made a circle, evenly spaced circle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I made 6 evenly spaced circles, like a couple blocks off the ground. And then based on that, I like slowly carved it into like a full sphere, full 360 sphere. Based on my eyes, I think it looks pretty round. And so the inside was done like the way when you shake a snow globe and the snow and the whatever is inside like settles at the bottom into like a mound. That's basically the idea of how this was set up. So it's got like the layers of snow kind of settled everywhere, and then it's also got the big tower of snow in the middle with the bell right there in the center. You can actually, I don't know if you can tell, there's actually stairs up there. So like if the villagers could open gates, they could actually get in and ring the bell if they wanted to. I mean, if this was if this was real life, obviously they could get in there anyway and ring the bell, because they'd be foraging for the snow. But so we could go in and take a look around. I can't remember if I did that on the new recording or not. And you can see all these stacks of snow. The snowmen can like get up on the ledge, and they're like covering everything in snow. And so the idea is like the workers will come in and scoop up all the snow and store it in town until they have a use for it. That's basically it. Oh, also, we flew in from the ocean over here, and right across there is Sunfield City. So it's 2 like twin cities, I guess, right beside each other, Sunfield City and Snowglobe City. 2 very different ideas, in the same way that the Chinampa City was also a very different idea. How they base their entire way of living around what they have available to them. And so if you live in a giant field of sunflowers, you're probably going to eat a lot of sunflowers. If you live on a lake, you're probably going to eat a lot of fish, and you're probably going to have floating islands that you live on, because, you know, like you're in the middle of a lake. And so that's this idea as well. If you had, obviously this is our winter themed episode, but if you have a giant snow globe and you can make an infinite amount of snow, what would you do with it? Obviously, you would eat it, probably. You would probably use it to build with, and you might even decorate your town with it. And so, what would come after that? Thank you for watching. Okay. I think I covered everything in this town already. Thank you for watching. We will have another winter-themed episode, not a Harvest Town episode, but we will have the Seasons Crossroad episode, which is Heather's series, where she makes the different areas, kind of like on Nightmare Before Christmas, you know how like they go into different portals and see like an entire town based off of one holiday. It's sort of like that, but it's for the seasons. And so we will have another completely different, made by a completely different person, winter-related episode, either this week or next week. So stay tuned, and even subscribe if you want to see more of that. Thank you, and goodbye. Hopefully we recorded that time.